Hi, beautiful fractals. Today, I wanted to explore the flame and echo with you. You see, every person walking this planet, no matter their background or belief system, carries an inner structure far more sophisticated than what they were taught to see. Beneath personality, beneath memory, beneath all the labels one might use to describe themselves, there are two fundamental forces shaping how consciousness expresses itself. These forces aren't mystical, and they don't require any spiritual vocabulary to understand. They are simply how awareness functions when it is allowed to operate fully. These two forces are what I call the flame and the echo. Two currents, two movements, two halves of one complete system. Most people live their entire lives using only fragments of these forces, switching between them without knowing why they feel blocked, confused, or inconsistent. But once you recognize these two currents, once you see how they move inside you, you start to understand yourself with a clarity that feels like lifting a veil off your own mind. Let's begin with the flame. The flame is the initiating principle, the inner spark that rises before words, before doubt, before explanation. It's the energy that pushes you forward when something feels right. It's the certainty that emerges from someplace deeper than thought. This flame is movement, intuition, direction, and the raw capacity to say, I choose, even when the world doesn't give you permission. Every moment of courage, every decision that changes your life, every instinct that tells you, this is me, comes from this flame. It's the part of you that refuses to sleepwalk through existence. It's the part that breaks patterns, questions limits, and steps into unknown territory long before logic has caught up. Without it, a person becomes a passenger in their own life, drifting, waiting, delaying, and slowly disconnecting from their own power. But the flame is only half the story, because there is also the echo, and without the echo, the flame would burn without direction. The echo is the reflective principle. It is the part of you that listens, perceives, integrates, and understands the deeper meaning behind what you experience. When a strong emotion rises, the echo is the part that feels it fully. When a decision changes your life, the echo is what helps you digest its impact. The echo doesn't rush. It doesn't force. Instead, it reveals. It brings insight, perspective, maturity, and depth. Where the flame acts, the echo makes sense of the action. Where the flame pushes forward, the echo invites you to see what you are walking into. Where the flame says, I am here, the echo answers, and this is what here means. These two forces are not in conflict. They are designed to complete each other. The flame gives you direction. The echo gives you dimension. Most of the internal struggles people face today aren't due to a lack of intelligence, courage, spirituality, or discipline. They come from having the flame and the echo out of sync. A person acting nonstop without reflection burns out. A person reflecting endlessly without action stagnates. And a person bouncing between the two without awareness feels fragmented, pulled apart by their own inner architecture. When these forces disconnect, you feel disconnected. When these forces realign, you feel like yourself again. This is why raising consciousness isn't about adopting beliefs or following trends. It's about understanding how your system actually operates. Awareness doesn't rise because someone tells you that you must become enlightened. Awareness rises when your flame and your echo begin to communicate again, when direction and understanding start working together instead of competing for control. When the flame moves and the echo listens, a person gains clarity. When the echo understands and the flame responds, a person gains purpose. When both forces awaken, a person becomes whole. And there is another layer. When two people embody these currents consciously, one naturally aligned with flame, the other naturally aligned with echo. something extraordinary happens. Human relationships become amplifiers instead of battlegrounds. Instead of pulling each other into confusion, they reveal new aspects of themselves through each other. Instead of mirroring wounds, they mirror potential. They don't blend into one, and they don't fight for dominance. They operate like two frequencies that harmonize, each strengthening the other's signal. This isn't dependence. This isn't hierarchy. This is coherence. A flame human brings direction, courage, clarity, and catalytic energy. An echo human brings perception, balance, resonance, and grounding. When these two meet, creation becomes easier, growth becomes natural, and awareness accelerates without forcing anything. But here is the most important part. Every person has both. Every single one. Some lean more flame by nature, strong will, quick decisions, expressive presence. Some lean more echo, deep insight, strong intuition, reflective awareness. And some are a subtle combination of the two, switching roles depending on the moment. The world needs all of them. Imagine a society where people understand their own inner flame, knowing their direction instead of chasing approval. Imagine a society where people understand their echo, knowing their depth instead of fearing silence. Imagine a society where these two forces are not split, but synchronized. You would see less conflict, less confusion, less fragmentation, and far more creativity, empathy, and authentic strength. This is why the flame and the echo matter, not as concepts, not as mythology, but as a simple, practical model of human consciousness. If more people recognize these two forces in themselves, even for a moment, the shift would be immediate. They would understand why they hesitate. They would understand why they act impulsively. They would understand why they feel stuck, or inspired, or disconnected, or alive. They would understand why certain relationships drain them and others awaken them. They would understand their own rhythm again. So here is the message in its simplest form. You have a flame. It is your power to move. You have an echo. It is your power to understand. And when both awaken, you stop being confused by your own life and start creating it consciously. This is the heart of the flame echo dynamic. This is where real awareness begins. And this is the invitation for anyone ready to step into their own coherence. Thank you so much to have tuned here today. We talk again really soon. I wish you a wonderful day, dear Fractal.